Hey everybody, this is Grace, and I'm going to talk about how many of us who are over, who are middle-aged and older, have always wondered why we can't, or have often wondered why we can't find anything that is that is written, or a series, or written or video or film on TV, cable, whatever, that is about people our age, that we are the main characters too. Like the Golden Girls. I can think of a few, like the Golden Girls. There were 2 books, 2 series, 2 authors that I can recall. I can't remember their names. One of them was written pretty much like the Golden Girls, and the focus wasn't always on wasn't often on their children. It was on their own relationships. And then there's the Red Hat Society. I don't know if either one of those 2 books are still being written, 2 different authors. But much of what I see these days is about younger people in young adulthood, and that say all the way up to age 44, and middle adulthood, say 45 to 64, and then older, more of a later adulthood. But anyway, on up, okay. But really, how much do we see? Now, you can get on, like YouTube. There are various places you can watch videos, and you can see people in these age groups making videos, but not many. I only run across a few, and some of those are just too much about drama that is kind of harsh. They're not writing stories about, they're not writing fiction stories. They're real. They're between one another, and they're like dramas where they're calling one another names and finding fault in one another. Or the other ones I see are like doing something that younger people would think is stereotypical. Now, stereotypical is not a good thing, being stereotyped. But just about, some of us do those things. But it seems like the more to be popular, a person, who's middle adulthood and older, would need to do things that are stereotypical to be popular, except for those that are doing the drama that they're fighting one another. Okay. But some of them are like showing one another how to do their makeup at that age, or some of them showing that. Some of them showing how they do their, treat their children and their adult children and their grandchildren, and so on. But generally, they're doing something that's rather stereotypical, including like do-it-yourself. Okay, I have never seen any where there are older adults who are helping younger adults make it through life. Okay, giving them, some sage advice. We have experienced enough of it. We need to think about this. But overall, stories are made on video. Now, I do that. I have more than one YouTube channel that I've been writing these stories. What I've been doing is doing the very rough draft recordings, and I have to change things every once in a while for these stories. Some of them are about younger people, but most of them, I would say, the stories, I have so many, this series, big, huge series. Most of them are for people, say, age 50 and up. Okay, age 50 and up. And so I've been doing that for years, but I've just been, like I said, doing the rough draft. And it's me just sitting doing like this and talking, because it's like making rough draft recordings, okay? So, and I have them written, and I've been doing it for years, like I said. So some of them I do write on PowerPoint slides. And have you ever tried to write on PowerPoint slides? Boy, that's tough. Yeah. What is that? I wish I could remember who said this, but I would write less if I had more time. Yeah, I said it right. I would write less if I had more time. Well, it takes a lot of time to write less. Yeah, believe me, like on PowerPoint. Whew. But I've been doing that, writing these rough draft recordings and writing the stories and then making rough draft recordings and for a while. And I've decided to try to condense them down. I've had them on different channels because of different storylines, and I just wanted to try them out. But different storylines, and then I'm trying to we'll keep some of those because some of this information is a repeat for the different channels, you know, for the whole storyline. And then I'm going to try to put them all on 2 channels. This one and one other that I had started the rough draft recordings earlier. And then the other ones I'm just going to leave on those various channels, like I said. But to transfer them over and all that, that takes a lot. But I got stuck on one. For one, it was about a young woman, and I never got far enough on it. I had 3 videos about her because of her relationship. And she was, what is she? Not was, she is still a character. Cannot remember her age. I think early 30s, early to mid 30s. And I made 3 videos about that, and then a few of the other parts of the story, but I never got far enough making the rough draft recordings. The writing, yes, but the rough draft recording to make videos to put on YouTube like this. Okay. It's getting a little hot in here. Real life happens. I'm sitting out here today. It's February 5th, 2022. And I'm here in north central Texas. And we just have had some very unusual weather like last year, this same month last year. Last year we had historic, they called them, historical Texas winter storm. Whew, it was bad. And I right after I said it wasn't that bad, it was that bad. We even had a pipe burst during it. And Adam had just gotten out of the hospital, and he had 5 broken ribs, I think, and other problems. He had had surgery, and I was having to take care of him. We had one dog that had dementia and stomach cancer. He passed. And the other one, it was a puppy. It is not anymore a puppy, but we had him in the kennel. It was rough, okay, because the dog with dementia wanted to go out quite often, and he'd forget that he's already been, and during the middle of the night, freezing cold weather, and all that snow and ice, and I was not going to fall down again, and Adam couldn't do it. Boy, and the cold, and fearing our electricity was going to go out. It went out for a short while, I think once or twice, but there was no way we were going to get down the road to go anywhere if it did. So all of that. Then this year we were both not really joking. It's not funny, but we have been talking about, because when he was in the hospital, one of the healthcare professionals, he didn't say which one, I can imagine which one, but came in there and said that he talked to him about post-traumatic stress disorder because of his accident and all. And since then, that's all he's been saying, post-traumatic stress disorder, you know, and anything. We laugh about it because it kind of like a nervous laughter. And so this time around, I said, let's see how our PTSD is going to be. You know, we're not diagnosed, either one of us. But yeah, we did have those moments, you know, fearing, because we didn't have ice and snow, and even one time looked like a little bit of a blizzard, and we did not go out. Okay, we did not. And until now, today, I guess it's been the past 3 days, maybe. Cannot remember. The days were just, I had fear. I did. And like if our electricity went out, or during the middle of the night even. Of course, now we could go somewhere. We could have, but not that 1 or 2 days. Yeah. I cannot remember, honestly, because it was so stressful. Even my right eye has been twitching, and I had Bell's palsy in that when I was young, and it started twitching. I'm like, okay, I got a little bit too stressed out here, you know, with all this. But both of us were pretty much stressed because, you know, kind of, you know, little worry, what if, and we started thinking about, well, if this happened, then we need to prepare this. You know, we're Texan. We're not used to this. This is not our norm. Now, you give us 100 plus temperatures for days on end, yeah, we know how to handle that. It's pretty much the same. Don't go out, You know, after the ground is heated up and everything else, the concrete and all that's heated up for days. And one time we almost beat a record. We needed one more day. It was something like 71 days straight of 100 plus temperatures. Yeah, the ground was cooking. And now we can handle that. You know, we're Texans. We can handle those. We know how to behave. We know how to act. We know what to do. And, you know, all that. But winter, no, it's not our norm at all. So anyway, I got down that road, didn't I? Okay. But my stories are going to be about, I'm 58, he's older. Just put it that way, he's older. And I don't ever tell his age, so in any of my videos. I used to just do certain types of videos that would kind of, anyway. But, yeah, you know, they're going to include things like this, you know. When we were younger, I was telling Adam, when we were younger, I've known him, let's see, 40 years. And when we were younger, we would, you know, when, like I was telling him, I said, don't you remember, because he said he didn't remember this, but I said, don't you remember, man, it would be 20-something outside, and we'd just go outside and be happy, and it could have snow, and boy, it was a great day, you know, like snow day at work, you know, ooh, snow day. You know, there was some excitement about it. Oh, yes, you know, different, something different. And it wasn't very often. Not very often at all. Last year, I think it had been years, I don't know how many years before, then that it had snowed. And I can only remember a few times it got bad. But, you know, we'd go out. I mean, we wouldn't go anywhere if there was ice on the roads. Forget that. I've driven through ice before and almost crashed. And we both went, years ago, 10 hours of driving on ice and snow. Boy, wow. And that was, I was not happy about that. And, but other than that, no, in my whole life, 58 years old, I can't remember, I can remember snow here and then, but, you know, here and there. But anyway, now that we're older, both of us, you know, we say these things like, you know, we worry that we're going to go outside, slip on the ice, and break a hip. I mean, I think we're a little young to be thinking about that. But a couple of years ago, this month, in fact, I just fell over, boom, to my left, fell on my knee on a hardwood floor, all my weight on it, and, oh, it was bad for a couple weeks, really bad. Now, yesterday I was vacuuming, and I think I wrenched it somehow, and it was a little bit painful. Didn't have any PT. It was during all this, you know, 2020 and all that, which I think is what caused it myself to fall that time anyway. But, yeah, you know, we think about these things that we didn't think about when we were younger. You know, snow was such a great time. We could go outside and be in the snow, and you see, now it's like, we're going to be stuck inside. So that's where I was starting with this. I've been stuck inside for these few days at night, and I've already been stay home, stay safe since 2020 for the most part. And I would say the most part, yeah, but I already had all the, I'm waiting next week or the week after, yeah, the week after, I believe, to get my third. I'm avoiding words. But so anyway, you know, these kind of things I want to put in this series. The series does have that included because the series is about the whole county. It's all fictional, hypothetical fictional, Richardson County, locked down early 2020. It just locked the whole county, locked down the really wealthy county for the most part, and all the drama that started after they started locking down and building more. You know, they really locked down. You know, they did everything legally, but the whole gist was this, and what all kinds of issues that started. And like I said, most of them are the older people. Some of them are funny stories, some of them are mysteries, and it's all one big mystery part of it. But the other ones are just funny, and then like older people making businesses, new businesses like delivery, because they were locked down and all. And various types, like people radio station, people wanted to hear stories, like the old-fashioned way. Instead of watching TV and hearing stories, they wanted to hear stories on the radio. And they tried it. They didn't. Nobody asked them to. They just tried it, the radio station, and it boomed. You know, it just took off. And you know, things like this, stories like that. Like I said, one is a real big mystery, and that's the huge part of the series. And I'm not going to give it away, but it's a mystery. And just different types of relationships with people. Like there's one woman named Diva, and she called herself Mama Diva. To, you know, with people who know her, they just call her Diva. And she's always up to something bad. And there's Sherry. She is on the radio station, and she's a counselor, but there are other counselors that are good. She's that bad apple. Okay, it gets taught a lesson. And the people that run the county are the elders for the most part. Everything is legal that they do, not illegal, but legal. And they're very wealthy investors for the county, so everybody listens to them. You know, and everybody knows it's part of their culture, their whole heritage, culture, and upbringing. Just knowing that this is the way it goes. So it's a huge series. Like I said, I'm going to divide one part of it up on this channel and another one on another channel that I've already got most of those. The old ones are already up. Not most of them. I got newer ones from different channels, though. Yeah, I got that all mixed up there. Okay, but I don't sit there and read from a script or anything like that. Don't show any videos, usually nothing. Unless I'm driving, I do some while I'm driving. You know, and some of the visual effects are different. Just depends. And there's no movie to it. And no script, yeah. But I do write, you know, have them written down. I just read off the highlights, stuff like that. Because like I say, some of it just changes because it doesn't fit. And there have been a few times I've gotten the math wrong, or I misspoke. Like I said the woman's name when I meant to say the man's name, or vice versa. And in the story, and you know, these things happen. So nobody's perfect. I'm definitely not. But anyway, I wanted to get out here just to get out. And it's actually a little bit warm. I have the heater on. It's 49 degrees right now, which is great. Yesterday, I don't think we got above freezing. And then it got really low. We had, I think the worst that we had was a -5 Fahrenheit wind chill. Okay, but I think we got into the single-digit temperatures. But we have before in the past, and like I say, I don't know, we're like, whoa, okay. You know, no big deal. At this age, it's starting to be a big deal. Maybe we're just older and wiser, you know what I'm saying? And then we were just taking risks that we didn't really even know were risks. So, but those terrible Texas storms, historic Texas winter storms, boy, they taught us a lot. Anyway, so expect videos, you know, like I say, some of them are very, like I said, they're mostly very, very rough, because I'm just trying to get the, you know, main highlights, and then some of it I'll read like a story, some of it, but not all of it. You know, if I've written down some, like a certain situation that's going on, I may have written more on that, and I just read from that, and so this is still highlights. Some of them are rough draft, and they're all copyrighted to me. Read the disclaimers in the description box below this video on YouTube. And I think I'll wrap this one up, and I'll talk to you on another video.